How's it going, everyone? Today we got a story time of a kid. Oh my God. This is actually quite a recent story because we got a story time of a kid who gets expelled from school because he decided to stage a walkout to free Diddy. Guys, our generation might actually be cooked. Gen Alpha is actually doomed. Leave a like on the video right now to claim you're free nothing, but more importantly, leave a like on this video to give yourself cringe goggles. It will protect you from the cringe of this story time. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and with that being said, let's just jump into the story of the kid who got expelled for walking out to free Diddy. Anyway, so we're going to call the subscriber who submitted today's story Will. And there's a kid in Will's class who we're going to call Ben, which I know, oh my God, I'm going to call him Ben. Wow, that's a new name. I've never used that name on the channel ever before. But anyways, right, there's a kid in Will's class who we're going to call Ben. And Ben is your standard Gen Alpha brain rot kid. Like, this kid literally spends 18,000 hours every single day just watching Skibbity Toilet videos. Like, bro is actually cooked. He might genuinely be cooked, and I'm not kidding. Anyways, so this all happened about a week ago. This is a very fresh, recent story. I mean, if you're watching this today and not like a year in the future, this is a very fresh, recent story. And Will submitted this to me on Instagram, which if you want to submit your own stories, actually you can go to Instagram or Snapchat. Both are Connor Pugs. Swipe up, tell me your whole story. That's all you got to do. Anyways, though, so if you don't know, the singer, actor, maybe, I don't know, celebrity Diddy was recently arrested for crimes that are not good. I'm not going to go into the details of the Diddy allegations on the Connor Pugs YouTube channel, but just know that it is bad. It's really bad. And yes, he super did it. I mean, Diddy, don't sue me, but he super did it. That's satire, by the way. I don't want to get sued, but he super did it. It was super bad. And he every celebrity did it too. It was bad. Anyways, though, so it's been a recent trend on the internet that wouldn't it be hilarious for people to walk out of school and to have a school walkout, a little protest, one might say, to free Diddy himself, to free the man, the myth, the legend who did nothing wrong. Diddy did nothing wrong. Like, oh my God, like what? Imagine being a teacher. Because if you're a teacher, you're probably the age 30, 40, 50. You probably know who Diddy is. And you probably have seen the news clips, the news articles. You probably know exactly what Diddy did. And just imagine you wake up, go down, have, your breakfast, whatever, get ready for a day of school. I'm going to go and teach the third graders about algebra. I'm going to teach them how to add two numbers together. I mean, you should probably know how to do that by third grade. I'm going to teach them how to add two numbers together. And, I'm really excited to educate the next generation. I'm enriching the brains of the youth. And maybe these kids will go on to be scientists, doctors, rocket scientists. Maybe they'll even become the most prestigious profession of all time, YouTubers. I don't know. They might be one of those things. All need the same depth of knowledge to achieve. Anyways, you walk into school, you're proud, you sit down, and all of a sudden, little Timmy in front of you, the little third grader comes up and says that, Miss Andrews, I'm walking out of your class today because I am protesting. I am protesting because we must free Diddy. We must free P. Diddy. He did nothing wrong. Come on, guys. And everyone else in your class, all at once, at the same time, in unison, stands up, and they all say, free Diddy. He did nothing wrong. His parties were quite fun. Like, oh my God. Like, if I was a teacher, bro, I would probably just, one, I think I'd be going insane. But two, I would probably just kind of sit down and just be like, So what am I doing with my life again? Let's just sit down and kind of, take a little analysis of the situation, take a little figuring out of what the hell is even going on. Yeah, so to say the least, this generation's actually cooked. Anyways, back to the story at hand. So Will, there's a kid in Will's class who we're going to call Ben. And I already explained he's a Gen rot. He's a Gen Alpha brain rot, but he's cooked in 15 different dimensions like it's not good. Anyways, though, so one day, Will's in school, and he's sitting down at lunch, and he's sitting down at the big lunch table. All the boys are there, some people he's not as close with, but it's like the big group lunch. So his close boys are there, but also some that are kind of more outside of the friend, not his immediate friends, but kind of friends of friends, and they're It's kind of like the different subgroups are all hanging out together. And this kid, Ben, is like kind of friendly with one of the kids who's in one of the subgroups. So very, very distantly, like friend group wise related to Will, but like just slightly enough that it's not insane for him to sit at the table. You know what I mean? Anyways, Ben comes over, sits down, is like, guys, did you hear what's... He's like, guys, did you hear what's going on with Diddy right now? It was like, yeah. And Ben's like, dude, it's messed up. And Will's like, yeah, what Diddy did was messed up. And Ben's like, you're not actually falling for the lies of the Matrix right now, are you? And Will's like, what? He's like, bro, it's obviously a psyop from the Matrix. Diddy did nothing wrong. And Will's like, dude, you can't be serious right now. He's like, no. Diddy did nothing wrong. I saw it on Instagram Reels today. We're staging a walkout. Will's like, what? He's like, yes, we're staging a walkout for Diddy to free Diddy. He did nothing wrong. It's happening tomorrow. I'm actually starting a social media account to promote it to all the other people. I personally believe that everyone in the school is going to walk out. So, Will, if you don't want to be an absolute loser, then you would walk out with me. And Will's like, you know what, man? I think I'm going to decline the opportunity to walk out to free P. Diddy with you. I appreciate it, but I really think today I'm just going to have to decline. I'm going to have to decline the offer. And Ben's like, okay, so you hate freedom is what I'm hearing, and you love Satan? And Will's like, what? He's like, yeah, dude, Diddy did nothing wrong. Those parties were just like fun. Will's like, dude, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're spending way too much time on Instagram Reels. And Ben's like, I spend the average 18 hours a day on Instagram Reels just like everyone else does. And Will kind of like looks over at his friends like, what do you mean? And he looks up at Ben, who's on his phone watching Instagram Reels. And he's like, Ben. He's like, what? Oh, sorry. Puts down his phone. Ben is such bad brain rot that he's actually in the habit right now of just whipping out his phone and watching Instagram Reels in between every second. So if he's not actively doing something, he is watching brain rot Instagram Reels. If he is not in the moment of engaging with another individual, actually sometimes even when he is, but if he isn't actively performing a task or speaking, even though I'm sure mid-sentence he's just stopped speaking when on Reels, he has a reflex. It's not even just he's choosing because he likes Reels so much. He has a built-in reflex into his nervous system to snap his hand into his pocket and whip out his phone and start watching Instagram Reels. It's that bad. It's gotten that bad. But I mean, I guess what else could I expect from someone who's staging a protest to free P. Diddy? So, I mean, it's not like the craziest thing I've ever heard. No. Anyways, Ben's like, Will, you're going to look like such a stupid idiot moron face tomorrow. I can't even explain it to you. Not only are you on the side of evil, Satan, I don't know, all of Mussolini, you're on their side right now, not being on Diddy's side. And Will's like, look at his friends like, yo, what? And Ben's like, look, I'm going to go to the table right next to us, tell them for 5 seconds, let them know the gist of what I'm doing, and you will see that they're all going to join me in the P. Diddy protest. So Will's like, okay. Ben gets up, walks over to the table directly next to them, which happens to be the popular girl table. I don't think Ben really looked at the table next to him before making that assessment. I mean, unless he is so absolutely brain rotted that he thinks that everyone actually totally agrees that P. Diddy did nothing wrong. His parties were just fun. Like, okay. And his baby oil was for babysitting only. Anyways, so sure enough, Will's watching as Ben walks over. And Ben walks over to the table next to him. And the table next to him is the group of the popular girls. And believe it or not, the popular girls are maybe not the best target for this. So anyways, Will watches as Ben goes over there and is like, hello, ladies. I want to inform you that tomorrow we're having a protest, a walkout to free P. Diddy. I'm assuming I can count you all in, right? Just dead silence. All the girls are looking at him. They're kind of like looking at him, then looking at each other, then looking back at him with a look, then looking at each other, and then looking back at him with an even sterner, more confused, more, what the hell did you just say, buddy? Look at me. And Ben's like, I'm going to take the awkward pause as a yes. Let me collect your phone number so I can enter you into the system for the P. Diddy protests. As he says that, all the girls at once in unison get up and clear their plates. And so Ben walks back and is like to Alex, to Will. He's like, see, they're all joining the protest tomorrow. And, Will looks at him like, I could see and hear everything that happened. And I think Ben thought that like he was too far away, even though he was literally right next to him. And he's like, oh, yeah, did you not notice that their silence was them saying yes, but just silently? And Will's like, I wasn't born yesterday. Like the P. Diddy parties, bro. But no, he's like, I wasn't born yesterday, dude. Like, what are you talking about? And Ben's like, well, you're going to see tomorrow when all those girls and everyone else are at my protest, and you're not. And we're actually going to not only protest freeing P. Diddy, but we're going to protest you being at school. We're going to get you kicked out for not being on the right side of history. So, yeah, just thought I'd let you know. And Will's like, okay, buddy, sure. Yeah, I mean, do what you got to do, bro. Like I don't control you, man. Like, if this is your destiny, okay. So Ben like storms out of the cafeteria, and Will turns to one of his guys. He turns to Alex next to him. He's like, dude, what? And Alex is like, I didn't even engage. Like, that was your fault for engaging with them. Alex is really like, Will, that's on you for even speaking to this kid. Like, it's genuinely your fault because you engaged with this madman, the psychopath, Gen Alpha brain rot kid. Like, Alex is actually at a point where he can't even feel bad for Will because Will was basically asking for it for engaging with the brain rot kid. If Buddy's watching 18 hours of Reels every single day and spending the other 6 hours watching Skippy toilet videos, maybe it's not the best idea to engage with him. Maybe you're not going to have enlightening, intelligent, breathtakingly powerful conversations with the Skibbity Toilet Gen Alpha brain rot kid who wants a free P. Diddy, right? I don't know. It was probably huffing galaxy gas in the school bathroom, bro. Like, I don't even know. Anyways, the next day comes around. Will gets up, wakes up nice and early, doesn't want to pull up to school. It's one of those, like, when you wake, I don't know. I feel like, and tell me in the comment section if you agree or disagree with this, but I feel like I could wake up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning, spring out of bed, the most excitement ever. But if I wake up at like 7, an hour later on a school day, I am the most tired, the least motivated. It feels like I've had negative 1 minute of sleep. Like, I really don't know what happens. I mean, obviously, I think it's because I'm excited because it's a weekend versus I'm like, oh, hell no, I got math class. I get it. But still, oh my God. But still, Will gets up. Today he's tired. He doesn't want to go to school. He doesn't want to go to math class. Don't get me wrong, but today's he's got a little bit of excitement. He's got a little bit of a pep in his step. And the reason for this is because he's going to see if Ben is actually going to do the P. Diddy protests. And he's going to know this because his first period class is English with Ben at 8:30 in the morning. Anyways, so Will gets to school, walks into class, sits down nice and early, gets a good seat. He wants to have front row seats to see if Ben will actually have the P. Diddy protests. And let me just say, oh boy, did he have the protests. If you made it this far into the video, I want you to comment computer down below. Computer. I'm looking at my computer right now. That's the secret word of the day. If you're listening on YouTube or Spotify, it'll show me the names and faces of people who made it this far into the video, and I really do appreciate that. It helps me out a lot. If you want to submit a story, go to Instagram or Snapchat or both. Both are Connor Pugs. And follow/add me and then message me the stories. Also, Snapchat, even if you don't have a story, you will see my day-to-day, or at least some things I post, because I spend about 5% of my day or less doing YouTube videos, and I actually do a lot of other things. And it's interesting. If you're curious, Snapchat's the place to have me added. I post a decent amount on there. And also, if you're on YouTube and don't know I'm on Spotify, and vice versa, if you're on Spotify, I'm also on YouTube. And also, if you're a Spotify listener, I'm smaller in there, so make sure you've rated the podcast 5 stars. Hit that follow button, and also answer the poll if it's still active. I think the engagement helps. And same with YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Leave a like in the video, obviously. Comment a couple times. It helps a brother out. I appreciate that. That being said, let's get right back to the climax of the story. Anyways, so Will's sitting in class, and Ben comes in a little late. He comes in a little late, and he has a backpack. And his backpack is like full to the brim. Normally, Ben doesn't bring any of his books. The teacher's always like, Ben, why didn't you bring your books today? Blah, 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 whatever. And today, his backpack was bulgingly full. How curious. I wonder what is in there. So anyways, the teacher begins class. He's like, all right, class, we're going to open up our book to chapter 15, blah, 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 whatever. And that's when Ben stands up. He was fumbling around in his backpack. And he pulls out, you can kind of hear the the sound of paper like rubbing against something and being pulled out. Pulls out this big paper sign. It's like one of those, it's like the construction paper. So it's a little bit firm. And he has this big sign and it says Free Diddy. And he gets up on his chair, on his the little table thing, the desk he sits at, stands up on the desk, turns around to the class. And it's like, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Free Diddy. Dead silence. Some kid in the back of the class is like laughing because he gets it right away. He's like, oh my God, no way this kid's actually doing it. And Ben's like, we're freeing Diddy today. Protest, protest, school walkout to free Diddy. And he starts like jumping up and down on the desk. And the teacher's like, Ben, get down from there. What the hell do you think you're doing? And he's like, I'm standing up for what's right in this world. I'm standing up to free Diddy. And I don't even know what to say. I just don't. I'm personally, as the storyteller, at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. Like, what does one say? I don't know. Anyways, so he gets up and he starts jumping up and down. Free Diddy, free. Oh, jumping up and down the desk. He's like, who else is with me? Entire class is dead silent. Spoiler alert, no one else is with him. I know it's absolutely crazy. It's incomprehensible, but no one else is actually with him on this. He is simply alone. Anyways, so Ben's like, protest is going outside. Everyone follow me. And he like jumps off his desk. He like walks out the door. And you can hear him marching down the hallway going, Free Diddy, Free Diddy. Walk out, school walkout or Free Diddy. Free Diddy, Free Diddy, Free Diddy. Like, you just keep hearing it. And at that point, like, you hear him go bang, bang, bang. And he opens, like, the door opens up. And this is all what, like, Will is hearing in the hallway. And you hear, like, a teacher go, yes. He's like, I'm staging a protest of Free Diddy. Who else in this class wants a Free Diddy with me? And then you hear this awkward silence. And he's like, fine, be on the wrong side of history with Mussolini and Stalin and Satan and Free Diddy. You just hear him walking down the hall. So the teacher in their English class is just at a loss for words. Yeah, so anyways, the teacher's like, picks up their phone's like, all right, we're calling the front desk. We're having a student that's being a big problem. Anyways, so they're showing go. Will is like in pain because he is in class and he doesn't get to see how this goes down. But anyways, at the end of school, he is like, finds all of his guys, is chatting with them. And eventually they found someone who was like walking from class to the bathroom who saw the whole thing go down. So basically, Ben was the only one doing the Free Diddy protest. And that's when a bunch of these like school authority people, so school officer, principal comes out, like a whole swarm of people come out. They take a sign and they like push him into the principal's office. And this happened last week and they have not seen him yet since. So they're assuming that he's at least suspended and even potentially expelled. And Ben said that, or sorry, not Ben. Will said that he'll DM me and message me if there's an update and they actually know what happens to him. But this story is so frequent that they just have not seen him since.